So the term bomb squad sort of popped up this past summer in relation to a number of Manchester United players who honestly really needed to be sold for one reason or another, whether that was just they're poor or Amorim didn't like them or they just wanted to move, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of where the term bomb squad came from. They were on the chopping block. Technically, we are still sort of stuck with a couple of them if you want to really get technical about it, but don't be a dick. It's fine. But it seems like we're always in need of clearing out the deadwood at Manchester United. And today we are going to take a look at who should feature in this summer's bomb squad and why. This is United versus everybody. I'm your host, Sean. Dylan's going to be popping in as well, you guys. We are going to talk bomb squads and all that. We're going to camp out on some news and whatnot first and foremost. So before you do that, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and let's get stuck in. What's going on, Dylan? How you doing, bud?
Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing, Sean? Hopefully you're doing well. We get to have some nice weather here for once in a while, everybody. It's been so long.
Like, it's nice, but then in true Midwest fashion, it's going to drop down to like freezing temperatures again, like
Oh
before
yeah.
long. I'm so done with the Midwest, dude. I'm so done with Michigan. I cannot
I get
handle
it.
it. You been golfing yet?
Not yet. It's on the to-do list though.
It's on the to-do list. I feel like that's just what every Michigander says. It's on the to-do list this weekend.
Mhm.
This weekend, we're talking about getting out. We're talking about getting out. Got to clean the clubs.
Yep.
Got to do this.
And then
Got
it's
to
gonna
go
be
to the
like 20.
range first.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Are you excited to talk bomb squads?
I am. This is a good one. I've
Yeah.
been looking forward to this. I'm sure a lot of people can figure out who we're gonna say.
Well,
At
speaking of
least some of
people,
them.
let's jump into the chat, see who's popping up today, you guys. Please make sure to like, please make sure you subscribe. Big up Arlo. Big up Arlo. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Dana B's in the house. Yeah, I was already, long time no see. I was around earlier. You guys saw, for anyone who caught that video earlier, I did do a left back transfer target video for United. So I had 5 left backs that I think we should be looking at this summer. I will have 5 right backs coming out. Maybe Thursday we'll do the right back video. So I had to split it into 2 videos because 10 players would be a very long video. But go check that one out if you guys haven't yet. Let's see. Danny's already throwing. Danny couldn't wait to throw his names out there. It's funny. Bilal's in the house says, wouldn't call this summer clear out the bomb squad. No dicks there. There's no dicks. But like I said, there are a couple reasons why some of these guys were in the bomb. Like Malacia. Malacia is not a dick, but he was in last season's bomb squad because he's just not in the plans for anybody, right? So, but you guys know what it is. Big up everybody. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Also, while I'm thinking about it, make sure if you haven't yet done so, go check out my interview with James Featherstone. He's the agent and the owner of On the Sports agency. Represents some big players, including one that we've been linked with that some people might even want for our midfield. So if we do sign him, I take full credit for that. So, but
Sean gets
go.
a stipend.
Dude, if I get a finder's fee, that'd be great. But maybe more people watch it and more people click the like button on it and more people comment on it. Maybe he'll see it and maybe he'll get the hint and we'll do it. I'm already planting the seeds, but we'll see. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. James is a really good guy. Like I said, he and I connected for that class I was in last year. We had a couple of breakout groups together. He asked, like I said in the video, he had asked a lot of questions about the psychology of the course because some of the individual classes weren't going as deep as they probably could. But it was really cool that he was very, very interested in that. So that's what piqued my interest. He and I chatted a couple times outside of that as well. So, and I keep planting the seeds, you guys. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Blah says, I liked and watched like 15 minutes. Well, it is a long video. Well, I hope you watch more than 15 minutes. This is a fun video. Dylan, you ready to jump into some news here to start with?
Yes, let's do
All
this.
right. Who is a bookworm? Raise your hands. I'm a bookworm, as you can tell. Dylan. I know Dylan loves his books. For my fellow bookworms, Sir Alex Ferguson has a new memoir coming out in the fall, and it is called Games of My Life. It is. I mean, as you can see, I've got a lot of books behind me. Several of them are. A couple of these shelves are just United books. A lot of it is tactical and historical over here as well. But most of this is football books. I know, don't judge. But he's got a new memoir coming out. And this is what the goat himself had to say about it. He says in this memoir, he's selected 21 games for this book, which are particularly meaningful to me. The choices may surprise you because rather than dwelling on the matches I've written about previously, or those that might immediately register in the minds of fans, I've chosen games that take me back to different points in my life and which, even after the decades have passed, count so much for me. Games of my life. I think that's coming out in October, September, October, I think in the fall. Includes never before seen photos and whatnot. I shall be pre-ordering this, no question about that.
Mhm.
Dylan, you have you read any of the other books by Fergie or about Fergie or anything?
No, I haven't.
So,
That's on my to-do list with everything going on. So, can I really
so
call myself a United fan?
I mean, there's not a you don't have to like the books. It's just always interested. I've got all sorts of autobiographies, all sorts of books in here. Obviously, Jamie Jackson wrote one about Ollie as well. Some really good books. I would probably recommend Ferguson's autobiography as a big one to read. The world's biggest cash machine is another one that I think United fans should definitely
Mhm.
check out as well. That is all about the Glazer takeover and all the ins and outs of that. There's a really good chapter in a book called The Club that is all about the Super League, and that book came out about 4 or 5 years before the announcement, and it details secret meetings held at hotels and whatnot that included a certain Ed Woodward. So the Super League was in motion a long time ago, long before it was announced. Ed Woodward was involved. United were involved. It's nuts out here, man. Tim's jumping in. Big up, Tim says I have the Sunshine Kids. It's about the De Silva. Nice. I shall be putting that one on my list as well. But big up the bookworms in the house because I mean this is going to be a fun one. That's going to be a really fun book. I will be pre-ordering that one for show. Um, Big up Benjamin Shesko, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, Dylan.
Mhm.
PFA Fans Player of the Month for
Nice.
January.
That was good. I was glad he got that. I know I voted for him. So,
Yeah, did you?
yeah.
I don't think is it the PFA's website or something, or there's
Yeah.
I wish I
Or,
should know.
no,
I'm
you go
like,
on EA Sports or whatever and you vote there.
oh, is it? I was gonna say I don't see. I'm a member of the PFA, obviously through the course. You get a membership. I just they don't really have a whole lot of so I don't have Instagram or anything, so I don't know about that one. But um, anybody watch Champions League today?
Oh, yeah. I was watching it right before I got on here.
Oh, guys, rewind the clock. Rewind the clock when the draw happened. Did I not tell you that Galatasaray could beat Liverpool?
Hmm.
Come on.
It, dude, those Turkish, whenever English clubs have to go to Turkey, it's rough. You always got to be skeptical.
Mm.
I always hate when we have to go to Turkey.
Or when Turkish
Oh,
clubs come to United, because I was there when
uh-huh.
Galatasaray beat us. Bird's eye view of Onana just being an absolute Onana, like going
Mhm.
full Onana, getting Casemiro sent off for giving him this hospital pass in the box, gave away a pen. Like it was, it was not good. And I don't think that I know a lot of Liverpool fans are probably thinking, well, we'll get him at home. It's only 1-0, but it's not a foregone conclusion, man, because those Turkish fans will travel. They will take up lots of spots. They
Mhm.
will cause problems. Like that's exactly what happened when I was there. There were groups of Turkish fans all over the grounds, all over the stadium, causing fights. There were some flares. Lots of craziness going on after the match, ahead of the match. My cab driver was a Gala fan, so that was a fucking shitty cab ride to the airport the following morning. So annoying. Did you get to watch the match? I know you probably had school today, huh?
I watched the last 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and that was fun. That was fun to see Liverpool struggle.
They they had some decent chances, but just couldn't get over the line. Galatasaray I just looked at. I mean, how good was? I mean, you
They,
probably didn't watch all of it, but like Gabriel Sara was
mhm.
impeccable for them today. I scouted that guy like last year. He was so good.
Yildiz looked great on the left there. Just he kept making runs, getting in behind.
Yeah.
But you could even see it. Like they were. that's the type of fight we always talk about. Like they want to be there. They're putting an effort forth, and I mean, you could see how much different. Like Liverpool at times, just the time when I was watching it, they just looked a little confused about
Mm.
how they were supposed to attack this team. So,
Yeah, I mean, Noah Lang. It's funny, just Galatasaray for a while there. It was almost like the the Saudi league. It was like a place where a lot of these former big players kind of went, and like I guess not a big player, but like Davison Sanchez. Um, who else was there? Wilfred Zaha was over there for a hot second. Obviously, Osimhen's there. Lucas Torreira, who people might not even remember from his time at Arsenal, is there and stuff. Sasha Bowie. A lot of these rando players, but then like got Noah Lang, who was like a Ten Hag reject when he was at Ajax, was like just having fun with Liverpool's defense today, man. It was embarrassing. So don't sleep on Galatasaray, dude. Oh no, Newcastle are up 1-0. Oh no. Oh, those jammy bastards. And it's freaking, of course, it's Harvey Barnes. The most like, I looked at
mm,
the front three of Newcastle today, and it was like Harvey Barnes, what's his face, Insula, and Anthony Alanga. And I'm like, that is not, like, I would expect that to be like a Carabao Cup front three, man. That was nuts. That's short. Barcelona, man. Dylan, what is it about English teams in European competitions these past couple of years? They seem to do pretty well against these bigger sides. What do you think that is?
well, it seems to be that, especially for the teams like Newcastle that are a little bit lower, they got nothing to lose. They're just going for it. It's like they don't have the same amount of pressure um, that that play like United does.
Mhm.
United, every place we go, we're expected to win. We could have the worst team assembled,
Mhm.
and they just like, oh, United should be winning 4-1. It's like, come on, guys. We're not. Nobody's going into Bayern Munich and just going to run away 4-1 unless Bayern's having an absolute terrible match. So
I feel
that's
like
just how
English
it seems.
sides tend to be more physical and more just intense a little bit. They tend to like I think these other teams are used to having a little more time in the ball. They're used to kind of letting like having that, and I don't think you're going to get that. Newcastle were all over Barcelona from the first minute. They were pressing,
Mhm.
and we saw that last year. I mean, Spurs and United complete shit in the league and somehow made it to Europa League final. Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But um,
But that
that's
can
funny.
work against us too. Like
Yeah.
if they sometimes, like I think we saw with Liverpool, they tried to be aggressive, but they weren't getting the same amount of I don't know. There's just everything looked a little bit off, and tends to happen to us when we play European competition. I don't know if it's because the level of physicality is different in Europe. It's like it's a little bit less, and there's a little more finesse that they have to have, and we're not like used to that. And some of the bigger teams want to push you around a little bit more, but
We don't ever tend to look super well drilled. I feel like United.
yeah,
We just look like every team we come up against is just better coached. Somehow they just know what they're supposed to do. Maybe that's players, maybe that's coaching, maybe that's turnaround in managers. I don't know, but we do tend to struggle, and that's why maybe initially under Carrick it seemed like we don't have to think about it as much. We just play the way we play a little bit, and now it's obviously it's been on the
just
decline,
regressing back
culminating.
to the mean.
Yeah, and culminating in that loss against Newcastle. It's been coming, but yeah, big up Galatasaray for their big win over Liverpool. Looks like Newcastle's jammy little magpie bastards are gonna get something. This is like the best week of Newcastle's freaking existence in recent memory, man. I swear. Bilal says seeing all these results makes me pissed off at United and Ruben Amorim. Ugh. Yeah, the way Spurs have been playing for sure, we should have beat them in that final.
Yeah,
I'm trying really hard to move on from Amram in my mind. I'm trying not to bash him anymore if I can possibly help it, but it's hard not to sometimes when we think about this kind of stuff. I totally understand. The boss says EPL sides are too much for other leagues. Oh man, let's move on to some other news here because we've got some shakeup in the academy as well. We've got a new head of, or I guess not a new. We've got a head of academy development, and Darren Hughes. He has come from Manchester City, and he's been given the role of our head of academy football development and methodology, whatever that means. That's coming from Mark Critchley at The Athletic. So, again, this is a newly created role. This role, he's not replacing anybody. This is brand new. So, which is cool and not cool because nobody's fired, but at the same time, this is a whole new salary that we're bringing on and create a brand new position after we
Hmm.
just spent last year firing a bunch of people. So, um, the club, United, has described this position as fundamental to the long term vision of United in identifying and developing the best coaches and the best young players. Now, the issue here is for some people too is he uses another Man City guy. 11 years at Man City. We've got a few of these ex City guys in the structure right now. What are your thoughts on this and this appointment and the City connections?
The city connections are always a little suspicious. I mean, I can see maybe one or two people because you're always poaching people from other places. But
Yeah.
we tried that with Ten Hag with getting all the Ajax players, and it was like, come on, guys, this is a problem. Like you got to have a little bit of variety, and it's not the same exactly, but it just tends to rub me the wrong way that you're just going to keep, especially to a rival. Just
Mm.
take all of the rivals people. I'm not fond of that, but
Do you consider City rivals?
not as big as Liverpool or Arsenal. But yeah,
Yeah, I've never
city's
considered
ours. We have
City.
to tell them every time.
Yeah, I just never considered them a rival. I never really even considered Chelsea a rival. If your club didn't have any relevance prior to a rich owner, I don't really consider you a whole lot. It's like they're like the RB Leipzig of the Premier League, in my opinion. If that makes sense to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wilcox having a little too much say? Do you think? Does this sound like somebody that Wilcox? Because obviously Wilcox City, Barada City. I mean, it's interesting. Danny says it's a good appointment. Danny is all about the academy. I don't. I'm not gonna Minnie. What's up, Minnie? I'm not. I'm not going to pretend I know a lot about Darren Hughes. He held a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't know
different
anything.
roles at City, wore a lot of different hats. Um, we'll see what he brings to the academy. For those of you who do watch the academy, we do talk about it a lot on the channel. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm more curious, yeah, the X City thing, like you're saying, is this kind of part of the plan, or is this just the lack of a plan and we just go with what we know, kind of a thing? We'll see. At the end of the day, I don't care as much as long as they're good at their job. It's the same as like hiring Johnny Evans for the loan thing or Darren Flat. Like I don't care necessarily if they're good at their job, right? Otherwise, you start to ask questions. So, um, let's see. Danny's leading us right into my next section here, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. What do you make of the Sandro Tonali rumors to United? Have you seen these recently?
I saw. I haven't seen anything concrete. I've just seen that there's at least an admiration towards him. If you Newcastle don't make Europe, then he's probably gone. Um, I don't know. I don't really have them being a super concrete yet. I don't. He's. It seems like somebody else might snatch him up over United to me. It seems like
So
somebody. I feel like Juventus or somebody else might go get him.
Juventus are
But yeah,
like falling apart these days, though, aren't they? So
yeah.
I mean, that's a game I like to play whenever we got links to people. And Juve are down in sixth right now; they are struggling, and they could drop even further. So I like to play a little game called "Where else could this player go?" Right, and so I think about other clubs, other big clubs, right? Because he's going to go to a big club
Mhm.
for big money. So, A, who can afford that, and who is in desperate need of like a holding mid, defensive mid, whatever you want to call them, that would pay that is the question that I ask. And so, with that in mind, I can think of maybe Bayern because Kimmich, Kimmich is probably gone soon. Goretzka probably gone soon. They've got Pavlovic. I can't remember who else they've got in midfield. Um, PSG have a ton of midfielders, so it may be if Fabian Ruiz left, maybe they would do
I
that. But
think I was going to say I think Goretzka is leaving at the end of the summertime, so Bayern might be in for him. That could be something.
yeah, I'm trying to think in the Premier League, like Arsenal keep getting linked to midfielders, but they've just bought like three in the last year
Yeah,
and a half or so. Uh, City, I mean, I've seen a lot of heavy Anderson links. So who's going to be leaving City? Maybe Bernardo Silva will be leaving, and then I don't know. But City are probably always in need of a homegrown player too. So
Mhm.
and this is the thing I always look at as a big bargaining leverage for us at United is usually when we're looking at a player like this when we're linked, we also happen to be in desperate need of that position. So I do think that what that means is, hey, if you go to City, Pep's going to take away all the freedom, and you might be guaranteed start, especially if Bernardo Silva doesn't leave, and you'll play. You'll probably be captain in a year or so if you stay, and like you'll be our main guy. Just trying to think. I can't think of any other. Spain, maybe. Would he go to Real Madrid? Probably not. Barcelona can't afford him.
Barcelona can't afford anybody, but they sure want to make you us think they can.
Oh, and it ends 1-1 Newcastle Barcelona. Late
Oof.
stoppage time pen. Spared blushes for the Blaugrana there, huh?
Huh. It's usually what happens. They usually Barcelona usually get something like that. So
Oh, yeah. So Tonali, would you take Tonali? Do you like Tonali?
I'd take Denali. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted him before, and I've liked how he's been at Newcastle. He solidified that midfield. He would definitely come in and he'd slot right into that midfield.
yeah. I
I
think
do
he'd
think we
start.
need another. I think we need another midfielder, but yeah, he could start
Yeah.
right away as soon as
Yeah, I
he could.
think we do need to because I do think Ugarte needs to go. Hint hint. Spoiler alert. I would take Denali. It's not right now. It's a toss up for me between Tonali and Anderson. I've included Tonali there now simply because it's still a question mark over where Anderson goes. Both are going to cost probably a pretty penny. Um, Maybe not Anderson if they get relegated, but
So here's what we do. We just say go to Newcastle, say, hey, you guys don't have European football. We'll give you Ugarte and we'll throw 30 million at you. You give us Tenali. Bam, done.
yeah, I mean, they paid a lot for guys like Anthony Alanga and Waltemata and Wissa. They might need money.
Yeah.
And I've seen Bruno Guimaraes could be leaving this summer too. Maybe it's one or the other for them with that. But like you're saying, if they're not in Europe, like then I think they might see a couple players jump ship. There are already people trying to get rid of Anthony Gordon. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
I was like, are you serious? I couldn't believe when I heard that. So
I don't like Anthony Gordon. I think he's a diving little brat, but interesting. So, like, thumbs up in the chat. Let us know. Would you take Tenali? Do you think he could go to United? Where else could he go? Where does he rank in your midfield options? I didn't include him in my list last week because I just didn't think it was gonna be a thing. But obviously, things change over the course of a couple days, so who knows? But moving on from players to managers, I've seen reports that a potential manager candidate is reportedly keen on the job, according to the Telegraph. Roberto De Zerbi, is reportedly keen on the United job. Would like the United job. Like in other news, this guy is blue, right?
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he is. It's Man United, right? What are your thoughts on De Zerbi?
no,
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 that was quick. That was
no,
very quick.
just no. I thought he would do better at Marseille. He did fine. He kept him in the top part of the table, but I didn't see a lot of progress. And you could even see that at Brighton at the end of his term. He started to lose the plot a little bit. They were still good, but you could start to see that stuff wasn't firing as well. So no,
Yeah, I've never been super keen on De Zerbi myself. I mean, he's still relatively young. He has had a lot of jobs though. The problem is the guy's that he's not really had a really stellar win percentage overall in his coaching career. I mean, his best win percentage was at Shakhtar, and he only managed them for 30 games, and so it's a bit skewed. But like it's just not good, man. Like Sassuolo was not even 36% win percentage. Brighton, it was about 42%. He did better at Marseille, but it's a farmers league, and Marseille have been buying up a lot of players recently. And so it's just it's not for me. And like you said, he gets found out pretty quickly in that second season. There's a bit of that Ange Postecoglou aspect. Like
Mhm.
the first season, it was at Brighton. Like you were talking, it was almost like this revolutionary. Like let's slow play out. We'll soak in the pressure, and then we'll just play around it real quick. And then like everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, he's this like visionary." And then like it just didn't work because he found out very quickly, kind of like what Russell Martin found out at Southampton, is it's a cool tactic if you've got the players for it. Like we saw how many times under Ten Hag did Maguire get absolutely bullied off the ball trying to play out from the back. If you don't have the players for it, it doesn't matter. So it's a big no for me for Deserby. I just don't see anything to him, honestly. He would not be my first choice. What are you guys saying? A lot of people saying yes to Tonali. The boss says send him to Spurs. That's a good shout. Spurs are probably a good pickup for him, huh?
Hmm. He might work there. They have a little bit. They have some players that might work. Well, they'll be in the championship, so yeah, that'll work out well. So
Like honestly, why wouldn't they just get him now? Like, what are the Spurs waiting for? He could keep them out of relegation, but maybe he's just trying not to. Maybe he's just waiting until the summer because if
hands off that train wreck.
well, if he comes in, it almost might be too late. Like it might they just like gravity might have just already grabbed a hold of them, like, and
Hmm.
it's like a black hole. Like you can flirt with that a little bit, but if you get too close, you're not going anywhere and you're getting sucked in. I
Yeah.
feel like, and I don't think that he's going to come in, get relegated, and then manage in the championship. Not that he, should have, but again, if they get relegated, then who are they going to get? Someone like Kieran McKenna or something, maybe. He could be a good pick, huh?
Hmm.
Um, you got no thoughts. I like it. You're funny. Oh, you're funny. How's Minnie doing these days?
She's upset that I wasn't paying attention to her. I don't know where she went now. Skulking, skulking.
She's
She's
going someplace to rip something apart, and you're gonna find out what it is.
most likely.
Big up Obai, says man Carrick Room. I don't know what that means, but big up Obai. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Danny says doesn't matter who the manager is, he won't be back properly. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're spending a lot of time talking about Spurs, but obviously it's about Deserby getting a link to the United job. We're getting linked to a lot of managers, Dylan. Does that mean that there's a chance Carrick won't be offered the full time job?
I think that was always kind of on the table that he wouldn't. I think they really looked at what happened with Ale
Mm.
and probably been like, yeah, we're gonna do all our due diligence before we make a decision and put out feelers and things like that. I honestly, this is Carrick's job right now. He's doing a good job. We need to see more, obviously. We need to see some more. We've seen some changes that he's done, but we need to see what else he can change, what else he can do, get us into Europe, specifically Champions League. But I'm as of right now, I would not be upset if he stayed manager. I think
No.
he's doing. I think he's doing a job. I don't know if it's the right decision, but he seems like he's. There's a sense, like we talked about this before. There's a sense of calm with Carrick that we did not have with the other managers. Like Jose was always a firebrand. Ten Hag just seemed angry all the time and didn't know what he was doing. Ale, I don't think he had the gravitas in the locker room. I think he got the super sub kind of mantra, and that kind of stuck with him a little bit. Um, and then obviously Amarin was always an emotional wreck a lot. So Carrick just is kind of going through and doing his thing. Again, we haven't seen everything. They might lose every game here on out, but as of right now, I think if we just couldn't find anybody, if we didn't find somebody that was going to fit right, I think he could come in and do a job.
I mean, yeah, Carrick's got this calm. I was anything but calm during that Newcastle match. I was livid during that Newcastle match. The players looked almost too calm. Like, I wonder if there's some clam bacon going on at Carrington or something. Like, why are we so calm and so just not even switched on? Everyone's like, it's cool, whatever. It's no big deal, man. Like, that's cool. Like, what the hell, dude? It's like Woodstock. This is Man United. Let's fucking kick on here, you guys, for real. Um, I have a
I was going to
question.
say,
Go
I was
ahead.
going to say, Devasi's making a good point. There's the low block weakness. That's been a weakness for so long.
Oh yeah.
We if Carrick can learn from that, can give us something from that, they can figure something out. he definitely deserves it. But that's going to be the big weak point. If we get to the end of the season and we still don't know how to get through that low block, it's up in the air then.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Carrick managing, what do you make of this whole sorry not sorry bullshit from Paul Scholes this past week?
I, I don't understand Paul Scholes. I don't.
Uh,
Is he just trying to get like keep his name in the news? Like, dude, you're a United legend. You're always going to be in the news. Just stop.
I feel
I
like it's
posted.
just a persona at this point, right? It's just how he chooses to portray himself online, and that's, I mean, there's a whole psychological aspect to social media and persona. But we know that Gabby Agbonlahor, for instance, has literally admitted he's not really like that in real life. The way he presents on Talksport, he just
Yeah,
does it as part of just the thing, right? So um, yeah, it's so weird to me. Paul Scholes is comment, and then obviously, so Rio did his show this week and said like, there's no beef there. He's talked to both of them. Paul Scholes said on his podcast this week, yesterday or something, that like it's not the way he meant it. I just, I don't know, man. Like you're saying,
weird.
like, go ahead.
It's a weird thing to just say. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about, you can be critical of how things happen, but just I don't know. It was a weird comment.
Yeah, it's part of me, and like I don't follow the good, the bad, the football anymore. I didn't really watch it for a while just because I tried to watch one episode and I'm like, this honestly, this is kind of, this, like, it's not interesting. It's kind of boring. Like, and part of me wonders if, big up Steph, welcome. Um, Part of me wonders if Scholes and Nikki, but if some of this shit they say just because you notice the big spikes in their viewers, or the big, they do whole up, they've done like 2 or 3 episodes of their podcast solely on comments that they've made, I feel like, right?
Hmm.
So it's like, if I don't say something, then I don't have anything to talk about, because really,
Yeah.
if you watch it when there's no controversy, to me anyway, they're, it's not that interesting. And I'm not saying they don't know what to talk about. I'm just like, their personalities are just not, they're not, I don't know. It's not something that I would listen to every single week. It's not like sitting down and watching the overlap, or even watching like Rio or something. Like, don't mean you have to be a comedian or anything. I'm just like, you're not really talking about anything. You know what I'm saying? As we are right now. um, the Basti says Schools, he should have just said that he was hacked. Big up. Sanjay's in the house. Where are you watching from today, Sanjay? You still in Lisbon? He was in Lisbon. um, Danny, yes, please do like, subscribe, you guys. We're on the road to 4K. Appreciate that. Stephanie says, Scholesy speaks like he used to tackle wild and reckless. Yeah, and like he's got that personality, but like, and part of the reason, and maybe, and this is kind of like, this is gonna sound like a humble brag. It's not a humble brag, so just let me land here. Part of why I feel like it is a bit of a persona, Dylan, is because you and I met Scholes. Like, not only have we met him, and he was awesome. He was super nice. He
Oh
sat and
yeah.
spent probably 10, 15 minutes with a bunch of kids. He got like a gift from one of them. He was taking photos. He was talking to him in the lobby at Salford. Like, super nice guy. He didn't look like he was annoyed or wanted to leave. He was willing to engage. Like, and
Hmm.
so I'm like, I can't believe that. Maybe that's the persona. I don't know, but he seemed like you don't have to do that kind of stuff. It'd be very easy for him to be like, no, gotta go. Like he was on his way to do stuff, and I was like, Scholesy, let's take a photo. um, I don't know, man. It's really weird. Some of these, I mean, we've talked about the ex players now and then, like Keane and Neville and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. Danny thinks it's for clicks and subscribers. Well,
Yeah, I could see that.
and we know, like, remember we talked last month or something, that they do have this agreement with some company. I forget what it is, but they do get paid basically for opinions now, and
Hmm.
so I mean, that's probably it. You get paid for that. So Scholes has understood the business. Yeah, maybe he's just really good at his job. That's funny. So, all right, let's move on to the nitty gritty now, guys. We spent a lot of time talking about Scholes, and we just gave him some more airtime. So we're going to talk about this bomb squad. Unless you have any other final thoughts on the Jinja Ninja, Paul Scholes.
Nah, no. I think I posted this in the group chat about like Patrice Evra posted something about it. It's like, why are we all
Yeah.
attacking each other? I'm like, yeah, yeah. Let's just. You can be critical, but we don't have to attack each other. Like, there's a
Um,
difference.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if Evra is of sound mind. You guys remember that video where he was eating that raw chicken?
I mean, that's true.
I don't think when it comes to good advice or wisdom, we should be looking at Patrice Evra. We love you, Uncle Pat, but you're a bit fucking nuts, dude. That guy's nuts. But also at the same time, like if I'm hanging out in Manchester or like somewhere in France, and I'm like, let's pick an ex player to hang out. I might be going with Uncle Pat. I'm not gonna lie, because that dude
Oh
seems
yeah,
like it seems like you might not even know where you might wake up the next morning with Uncle Pat in the party, man. Um,
100%.
you might end up in like Dubai or on a freaking like hanging upside down from the Eiffel Tower or something. I have no idea. Ugh. All right, let's talk about this bomb squad, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe because we are gonna decide who should be like non-negotiable out the door this summer. Bomb squad doesn't mean they're bad. Doesn't mean they've got toxic personalities. Just means like there's no place for them. It just need to go. For one reason or another, injury prone, contracts, just whatever. So aside from the obvious, the players who were already in the bomb squad, I'm talking about guys like Rashford, Sancho, Hoyland, Onana, Malacia, guys who are technically still part of the squad. Let's ignore those guys for now. This is this summer bomb squad right now. Okay, so we're gonna go through a couple players that Dylan has thrown in, and like they're pretty much the same as mine. And then I've got a couple of curveballs to throw you at the end that I really want to get your guys' thoughts on. So without further ado, let's dive right in. And starting with maybe not everyone's number one, but for me, I just don't rate this guy as much. And Dylan, I want to know your thoughts too. Let's talk about Manuel Ugarte.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick things off, or do you want me to kick things off, Bill?
Oh, you go ahead.
I mean, you've got a lot more notes than I do. I've just got some numbers. So obviously, he started like when I look back at his numbers and stuff, and even remembering him in play, because you guys remember he like when we beat City under Amorim, it was Ugarte and Mainu in midfield that day, and like he started his United career very brightly. He had 29 appearances in the league last season, 2 goals, 6 assists in all comps last season. And there was a period early in the season, especially under Ten Hag, where Ugarte's ball progression numbers were actually very, very good for midfielders. Um, but unfortunately, it flattered to deceive a little bit because watching him, he's not that great on the ball. His press resistance not that great. He gave away a ball against Newcastle, I think it was, where it just put us in, or maybe it was Palace that just put us in his own third too. That put us under pressure. He was noticeably ignored by Amorim late on last season, not even getting a sniff in some matches when we maybe could have used a little bit of physicality or just someone to disrupt the midfield. And he's basically a super sub now. And I don't even mean that like Ollie come on and score. I mean like Donny Van de Beek level super subs now, where just like we're in
Yeah.
stoppage time, go for it. What are your thoughts on Ugarte, man?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about him on here several times. He just for the type of midfielder we need, and you talked about ball progression, he has that in him a little bit, but it's not anywhere near consistent. He doesn't have the passing ability that we need in that position. He really just kind of runs around. He'll give you his all. He runs around and gives you his all. He's got the effort. He's got the movement, but he doesn't have the little bit of the finesse that we need. The care, I guess, is one way to say that. Just to go into that, and I'm going to pick this passage. You can see it. I've seen more with Mainu in that regard when he's been playing that position than I have with Ugarte. And yeah, this league just doesn't. I don't know if it's because of the physicality with that, or if it's the pressure of United that he's pressing himself trying to do stuff, and it's not doing well. But he'd go to a different league, go to Germany, go to France, he'd go to Spain, he'd do better. So yeah, if we can get something for him, get 20, 25 million, because we're gonna have to take a loss on this. You know, that would be that would be good.
You almost felt like as soon as Amram was appointed, you had to penny for his thoughts because Amram was the guy who allowed him to go to PSG, where he
Mm-hmm.
did struggle under Luis Enrique as a single pivot. He just Ugarte doesn't have enough strings to his bow, in my opinion, to really. It's no longer football is no longer we need a ball winning six and a couple of eights. Like you have to be able to do a little bit of everything. And if your basic just ability on the ball is just not great, if you don't really have a whole lot of passing range, if you can't carry the ball under pressure, like you start to have your teammates take away from their own game, get out of position, help you out because it's kind of like McTominay in that sense. and obviously McTominay is doing well at Napoli in a different role, but McTominay as a double pivot is a kind of a detriment,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And so Danny says he's a liability. Yeah, he can be. He is becoming a net negative. And like I said, as soon as Amorim was appointed, I'm sure Ugarte was like, ah, shit, or however you
Well,
say shit in Uruguay.
yeah, and we've mentioned this before. When he comes on and late in games, or the new guy, not the new guys. There's a different game he came on. I'm like, he's not the one you send on for stability.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to give you that. That's just not in his game right now. Maybe it never has been. Every time he comes on now, I look at it as like, well, the game is going to get very interesting very quickly. So
Yeah, I mean, he has a role and as a utility player, maybe, but I gotta see his. I'm gonna see how much he's on per week right now. I did put a poll. Let me know if you guys think he should be in the bomb squad this week. So reportedly he's earning about. Oh shit, he's earning a lot, dude. Shit. Who's in charge of these deals, man? The guy is on a base of 120,000 pounds a week with a 30,000 pound bonus, so he's potentially getting 150 grand per week, dude. That's just way too much, man. That's way too much for Garte. Is this his third season here this season, or is this his second season?
second season.
Okay, so he's still got 2 years left on his contract then as well. So that sucks, dude. That's a lot for Ugarte. Like, I can see why Kobe Manu might want a little bit more, but at the same time, like 120K for Ugarte is just embarrassing. Steph says Ugarte's been disappointing. His best games have been alongside Casemiro, not instead of him. Yeah, he just doesn't, and his footballing IQ, like he just doesn't really seem to get it sometimes. Like where he's supposed to be, what he's supposed to do. He just is like there's times where he just kind of runs around. So I
Yep.
want to know your guys' thoughts. Keep voting. So far, 6-7% of you say yes, you would put him in the bomb squad. Danny says would have been better off keeping Amrabat. I mean, if I speak. So yay, final yay or nay, bomb squad for you, Dylan.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end that poll, and then we're gonna move on to the next player. You guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let's talk about Money Mace, because you go ahead this time, Dylan.
Mason is a good player when he's out there. And he's at, what is it, for his time at United? He's been out for, or he has been injured for more than half of the games. So we paid 55 million for him. He's on expensive wages, and it sucks because he can help us out. He can press. He works hard, but he just gets injured too much, and we
Yeah,
can't depend on him. And yeah, he needs somewhere else. The Italian league probably would suit him great. It's a little bit less. There's a little more finesse there. Um, Not as much physicality. He might be able to really unlock himself in that league, but he needs to go. He needs to get a fresh start. We need help. We talk about. We need two more midfielders. If we can get a fee for him and reinvest that into some midfielders, that would be perfect. But we can't depend on. I thought this year before he picked up his latest injury, I thought, okay, he's literally starting to figure out it's finally going, and nope, not at all. So
yeah.
that was
I
good
think
stuff.
I think those Europa League matches at the tail end of last season were probably the best things he's done for us in the
Yeah.
United shirt. Obviously his goal, that long range effort, was a thing of beauty. That Makeda-esque goal he scored in the box was excellent. That's probably the most I remember from Mason Mount, honestly. Um, 3 seasons, almost just 66 appearances for Mason Mount, 7 goals, 2 assists in all comps in 66 appearances is just not good enough. And
No.
like you said, nearly as many games missed from injury as he has appearances. So 66 appearances, he has missed 58 games in the United shirt. Kind of in that Luke Shaw territory. Danny doesn't think anybody's buying him. Well, he
Yeah.
maybe bomb squad could mean we got to do a Sancho or a Rashford or a Hoyland kind of or a Nana kind of situation where we just do a loan with like a 20 million pound obligation. I can see him like if Morgan Rogers left Villa this summer, which some people think, I could see him taking over for Morgan Rogers at Villa, for instance, in one of those like 8-10 roles. I can see him. Maybe you could pull a Grealish and go someplace like Everton or something. I don't know, but for me, he's definitely in there. He's on with bonuses according to Capology. He'd be on about 200K a week. He's on 150K base, 50K in bonuses. That's a lot. So between him and Ugarte, we're paying almost 300K a week, potentially more than that with bonuses included for two players who are either not good enough or never fit. Right?
Yep.
That's embarrassing. 6-7% of you say no. Actually, interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. I'm going to end the poll. Not many people voting, so I don't know if I'm going to keep putting a poll out there. But you guys can just let us know. Tim says he would never be able to sell. Well, that's where a loan with an option or even an obligation will come into play. Look, we've done with like 5 or 6 players in the last couple seasons. And this is the problem with shit recruitment. You got a guy who's
Mhm.
injury prone, 1 year left on his contract. You basically open the negotiations by telling him, here, do you want the number 7 shirt? Do you want 100, 200K a week? Like this is the worst negotiations I've ever heard in my life.
Mhm.
I don't get it at all, man. I don't get it. It's like me going to buy a house and my opening offer is, hey, we're not going to do an inspection. We're going to pay you 100K over. You don't have to clean anything. You don't have to remove anything. We'll just take all your dirty clothes, everything. We'll change the dishes for you. Like here's like, who's negotiating this shit, man? For real. I can't believe it. Yeah, it was a bit of a shit show, that transfer window. If you guys remember, we like to
Mhm.
forget here at United. We do a lot of forgetting around here. Tim says I like him, but useless. Yeah, when he's fit, it's kind of like Shaw. When he's fit and he's firing, he is such an asset for us. He just,
Yep.
again,
He's
it's
just
kind of like when
not.
people say, right? It's kind of like the caveat when people say like on his day he's unplayable, and I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Like Pogba, when Pogba wants to show up one day out of a month, like
Yeah.
that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's like Pogba, was it 5, 6 years ago now, where he had 4 assists on the first match and then didn't
Yeah.
get another assist until like January.
How bricked up were we all when he got 4 assists
Oh
in one match? I was like, this dude's gonna get like 30 assists this season. This is
yeah,
fucking nuts, man. Where's this guy been? And then he
yeah,
just gets. He remember like Pogba was injured a lot, like
yeah,
a lot for United. Is he still at Monaco? I can't remember now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Monaco, he somewhere in France.
yeah, somewhere out there. That yeah, we're done with that guy.
That
All
was
right.
not a good window.
So the 6-7%, two of you voted to keep him. I'm yay or nay, Dylan. You bomb squad for sure. Find a way to get him
Yeah,
out of here.
find a
Get
way, something.
get someone to pay some wages and get him off the books for a
Yep,
second. All right.
yep.
So Ugarte Mount out of here. Up next, let's talk about our 9.5. Nearly 70 appearances in United shirt already for Zirkzee. Just 9 goals, 3 assists in all comps total. 5 goals in the Premier League total. I don't mean like this season. I mean total. 5 goals
Mhm.
in the Premier League is just not good enough. What does it mean? So we get Hoyland, and then we get Zirkzee. We sell Hoyland, and then we still get Shesko. Like, if you're Zirkzee, what are you thinking with that going on? Like, I
Yeah, that's definitely, you're looking at that and saying they don't believe in me.
well,
So
he's not a 9, right? Like, I still to this day, no one has ever been able to give me a conclusive, logical answer for why we signed him in the first place. Like, what was the plan for
yeah.
Joshua Zirkzee? I don't get it.
See, and I feel like if we went to like more of a 4-4-2 and had a second striker, I think he'd do great as the second striker, where he could link stuff up to the first striker, to Shesko or Mbumo or Cunha. But
Yeah.
that's just not how we're playing. And so now he can't take the Bruno role, but he's not an out and out striker. But I
Well, you
get what
saw like
Danny's
when he
saying.
came on the other day, he came on and took over as a 10, and Bruno actually dropped deep. So it was like the plan there was just to hope to use Bruno like Amorim did and just get the ball high up the pitch. Because Bruno's the only one that does it. And this is why I don't get why people complain about Bruno is like he's out of position. He's doing like he's the only one in the club who can do this shit that he does. Like, and he has to do stuff. Can you imagine Bruno had to wait around for someone like Shaw or Dallo to get the ball forward? Like, it would never happen, as we've seen. Okay. Well, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but it's just annoying. Danny would probably keep him because he doesn't trust the board to replace him. We need the
I mean,
numbers.
that's a fair statement right there.
That's what I said in the summer about Bruno. I didn't trust the board to replace Bruno adequately. It's people get so focused sometimes on the money aspect, and they don't think about what we actually do with the money. Do you trust the people who are making those decisions? I don't, personally. So Steph was hoping Zirkzee was going to be the next Berbatov. Still waiting. And to his credit, like, and we saw it even recently, like, there are things that Zirkzee does well that I don't see a whole lot of other people in the squad doing. Like his close control, his techers, like especially under pressure, very very good. Carrying the ball from deep, like when he gets in a full run with the ball, like he's almost unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big dude. He doesn't play like a big dude, and he's just not a goal scorer. So I don't understand any like, and that's what he doesn't use his body. So when you're trying to like kick long balls to him, he's not going to win a lot of those. So if you play the ball with feet though, keep it on the ground and use him as kind of like a springboard there in the final third, maybe. And maybe Danny's right. Maybe we don't need to do that right now. Maybe it's not a must this summer. Maybe he's not in the bomb squad. But Danny says you can see there's a player in there. Not really got consistent playing. It's a fair shout. It's a fair shout. Here's a question though. So maybe if he's not a priority bomb squad, what if somebody puts in an offer for him?
Depends on the offer and how late in the window it is. If it's early in the window, I'd say go for it. If it's late and we're starting the season,
Yeah.
I might say no, just because we're gonna need players and we're gonna be in several competitions. So
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's a good shout. So with all these, I mean, this is why we do the show. I don't come in here with my own like I'm right, you're wrong. I want to know what everybody thinks because you guys might have just convinced Dylan and I maybe that there's a place for Zirkzee here. Maybe it's not a top. So again, with that in mind, Dylan, bomb squad, yay or nay?
uh, I
Maybe you
feel
didn't
like I
convince me.
feel like I feel like he could do it, but at the same time, I'm like I just don't know where he's gonna play. But now I'm also concerned from what Danny said. Like, yeah, who are they going to replace him? But I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say he's bomb squad.
Was he fit when we were using Mbumo as a 9 instead of Shesko?
Yeah, I believe so. So
So I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I don't think that he offers enough. I can get it from a depth point of view and like, but the point is that we saw this with Malacia, we saw this with Ugarte. If Shesko's injured, if we need like, and you bring on Zirkzee, is Zirkzee really going to win you the game?
yeah,
Like, and so for me, we can do better. I think you could. I mean, you and I did our rebuild. You can get someone like Welbeck on a free. You can go get. There are players out there you can get for less than what you would sell Zirkzee for. And again, but like Danny says, it's just a matter of actually doing it. And so we do have to make these decisions quickly if we're going to do this, and so that does require a bit of ruthlessness.
hmm
Tim agrees, says time to move him on. Yeah, I'm still struggling to see why he's here in the first place. I just don't get it personally. And he says get 40 million plus, then sell, no loan BS. I mean, we didn't pay that much for him. Is he worth that much? We pay like 30. Oh, did he extend? Oh, there goes
Oh,
you just broke Dylan's heart.
I was gonna be so happy. I was gonna be like, his contract expired, guys. It's time to go get him. Oh,
Dylan, are you gonna be okay?
oh. Well, my transfer plans is all shot to hell
See, and this. You know what? It serves you all right for voting for
now.
Dylan's 200 million. You guys, you get what you deserve. Karma is a Beatrice. You guys, guess what you deserve. You guys make your bed. You got to lie in it now. So for me, he's still got to go. I hear Danny's point. I hear it, and hopefully, there's a plan there. I don't was Ineos were they in charge of Zirkzee, or is that the year before they got here?
I feel like that was the year before.
Okay, so it wasn't
Because
an Ineos signing, perhaps. I think right.
no, because the first full window they got was the winter window when
Oh, maybe he
who
was.
the only person.
No, he was because they were the first. That first summer was Delit, Mazraoui, and Zirkzee, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't that. What the Ineos deal hadn't gone through yet. Because the
Were they,
first window was
oh, you know
the
what? That
Leon
was
winter window.
no. You're right because that was the summer when they were all on gardening leave.
Yeah,
So that was still Ten Hag's fucking nonsense. It was Ashworth Ten Hag. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit yay, a little bit nay. If we want to pretend like maybe Barada and people weren't sending text messages behind the scenes, then we can do. But like Steph says, Dorgu technically. But you
oh yeah, he
remember
was. Yeah.
technically we were linked to Dorgu that spring we won the FA Cup though, so it's a bit muddy when it comes. We were linked to Dorgu like 6, 7, 8 months before we actually signed him, which is stupid that we waited that long. But not just because he's been so good this season, but because like why do you wait so long? I just don't get it. It is what it is. So for me, bomb squad, Dylan, bomb squad.
Mhm. Yep.
All right, let's talk about this cool cat
Yes.
because I just
I don't even think we need to talk about this. I just yes.
I spoke a little bit about Shaw on my video from earlier. If you guys haven't yet watched that, I did look at 5 left backs that I think we should be looking at because I do think Shaw needs to go. Literally, has missed half of his United career due to injuries. I don't blame him for the injuries. Like, let's put that out. They don't. I don't. Players don't want to be injured. I don't blame him for that. But his leg, I mean, his leg break was horrific. And if you've ever seen him without his socks on, it looks messed up. That's the best way I can put it. It's scientific, you guys. I'm sorry if it went over your head. It's messed up, but um, and honestly, the leg break probably played a major role in a lot of the issues he's had since fitness wise. And like we talked about earlier, like with Mason Mount, when he's fit, Shaw can be very very good for us. He really can, but he's just never fit, and we can't be sentimental. He can't be
Yeah.
counted on to stay fit. Take anything we can get this summer, in my opinion. Dylan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Take anything we can
You already
get.
said your
He's
thoughts.
still he's still got he can still play. It's just he can't be we can't consistently rely on him to do it. And I don't know if you guys think this. To me, it seems like he's starting to slow down a little bit. It seems like he's getting beat a little bit more. So
Sorry,
I don't know. But, no, you're good.
sorry.
That's
I
just
thought I heard one of the dogs whining. I was about to yell. Dogs, man. Yeah, he's just. It could have been. It should. You remember when we signed Shaw? How good he was at Southampton?
mm-hmm.
Like we paid a lot of money for him. I think it was like British record for a teenager in that point. What was it like 30 something million or something? Um, Tim says, "Thank you for your service. Bye, respectful ending." Oh yeah, it's just he's got to go. I think that the fullbacks could definitely use a bit of an overhaul. I don't necessarily know if we need two because Dorgu can play both sides, Mizraoui can play both sides. Maybe one who is an out and out left back to come in. And like I said, I came up with 5 earlier. You guys can go watch that video. One of them is probably a little outside the price range, but you can go check it out. But I will have right backs coming up soon as well. So um, Danny says, send him to the lovely weather in Nice. There you go. I can see Shaw going to like a Newcastle or an Everton or something like that to take over
Oh, so
and
he and Trippier can be on the same team.
I mean, this guy he has new, but like he's not going to Newcastle and take over for Lewis Hall. He would go and take over for like Dan Burn. He'd probably be playing left center back at that point. So maybe like Brighton, maybe take over for Lewis
Mm-hmm.
Dunk or something like that is where I could see West Ham. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if they go down, they lose Doof, but he's on a lot of money, so it's going to be difficult. But yeah, I mean, you guys know he's been on my chopping block. I've done so many left back replacement videos for Shaw since the channel started. Like I'm running out of left backs that I haven't spoken about. Um, but so yes, bomb squad, yay, bye. So long, Shaw that was bad. Sorry, guys. Hit the like button if you take pity on my horrible jokes. From one side of the back to the other, let's talk about Diogo Dalot because this one might create a bit of a debate though, because I do feel like there's some United fans who actually rate Dalot. I am not one of those United fans. um, Big up, Steph. She's got to take off. Please remove Dalot too. Yeah, Dalot's on the chopping block. Here's a question for you guys. Can anybody name one aspect of his game that Dalot has actually improved upon since he's been at United? I'll wait. Let me get a drink.
Um,
That's gotta love that expected stat.
he 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 works hard,
Does he
but
though?
he's wildly inconsistent and can't his crossing like you talked about his crossing is he'll hit a worldie here and you're like, oh damn, that was really nice, and then he'll just sky it over and like, where were you going with it? Shooting not great. I mean, it will get inconsistent there. He skies him a lot, but then he'll hit a worldie. It's like I don't know. I
I
don't you
can't.
don't know what to take. Defensively, he's a liability. His
Oh,
positioning's
for
poor.
sure.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
he's so bad. His final ball has not improved. His positioning off the ball has not improved. Footballing IQ is not great. He's lazy in defense. He doesn't put pressure on the ball. He's switched off in defense, especially when we've got pacey wingers. He just kind of stands there. He's flat-footed. He gets too square. Um, he's just not. Like we saw, I forget what match it was recently. Um, we had to kill some time. McGuire needed help. McGuire's trying to build out from the back, and instead of being an option deep that McGuire can just pass to, Dalla goes on this random bombing run into the box. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you like? That's what I mean. Footballing IQ is just absolutely in the mud, man. He needs to be sold. Danny called him a bluffer, and we'll get money for him. Like we
Oh
will
yeah,
get, we'll make money off because we didn't pay that much for him. How much did we pay for Dalla? Hold up here.
I want to say 20.
How much did United pay for Dallo? I want to say it was in the teens. 19 million pounds. Yeah, we could probably get 30 million for Dallo, honestly. And I think maybe going someplace like Inter, someplace like maybe back to AC Milan, maybe Atletico Madrid could be a decent shout for him. Someplace like that where he can just be just that kind of fullback. Like is fine, but he can't do it in this league. I get worried every time we come up against a side like Newcastle who put numbers in those wide areas and overload those wide areas because I know that Dallow's just going to let people off. When they've got wingers who like to cut inside, Dallow's not going to put pressure on the ball, and we're going to concede shots like we've done
Mhm.
countless times, like we did against the team we're playing this weekend, Aston Villa. Like it's just bad, dude. He says that's why he makes ridiculous runs because you don't want the first slice. And is like if you look at the way he receives balls in wide areas, he's just so bad at it, man. His
Mhm.
positioning is never great. His touch is shit. And the problem is like because of all that, there's like so many little micro actions that go into that one action that and each one stacks. It's like playing pool. Each poor decision is like he's not planning for the next couple decisions. So ball's
Mhm.
on the back foot. He has to go to the back foot because he's not his touch doesn't put it into space. And now he's giving the opposition player a couple extra seconds to just get tight to him. And because he shits himself in 1v1s, he's probably gonna give away the ball. Like it's just one thing after another with Dallo, and that's just in 3 seconds of play. I'm
Mhm.
done with Dallo. I'm done. Sorry I'm ranting, but I'm done, dude.
No, you're
Um,
just saying what we've all wanted to say. So
then it's still the same player. Yeah, he's not improved at all. There was some hope when he went to AC Milan, right? Maybe that was the last we'd seen of him. We got Wan-Bissaka. That didn't fucking get rid of Dallo either. Like, what do we have to do to get rid of? We got Mazraoui, and Dallo is still fucking here, dude. He's in my bomb squad. Is he in
yep,
yours, Dylan?
yep.
Okay. Um, we'll see. I've got a couple players here that's I want to know you guys' thoughts on. So let's talk about another player who might be on some people's bomb squad. Let's talk about Herodona. Bit controversial. Again, these aren't that I necessarily want him, but could go either way right now. Contract is up in the summer. The only thing we've heard about is reportedly he has to take a pay cut in order to stay. We haven't seen anything. But even if he did take a pay cut, Dylan, would you keep him? Should he leave? If he leaves, do we need to buy another center back because that would leave us light? What are your thoughts on Maguire?
First of all, just and we've talked about this before with Harry, but just uh, as a professional, as a consummate human being, with all the stuff he's had to deal with the poor form, he's done well. He's been a great servant to the club. So kudos to him. I just want to put that out there. Me personally, with how the season's gone, who he is as a elder statesman for the club, how he conducts himself, I would keep him as long as he's willing to take less than wages and just understand like, hey, you're going to play, you're just not going to play as regularly. I'd keep him. That's just
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably right there. I threw him out there just because I've seen a lot of people who are like, "Get him out of here, get him out." But I'm like you're saying, everything you said is spot on. Like he doesn't complain. He does his job.
Mm-hmm.
He's usually fit. And it's only been the last couple of years that he's started to pick up little
Yeah.
niggling injuries here and there. I mean, last year in the Europa League especially was immense. He's pulled us. I mean, his winner against Liverpool earlier in the season was freaking magical. Classic Maradona had it right. If he went down on the pay wages, I wouldn't have a problem with it necessarily. Um, it, it really for me would depend on Licha and Delit, because you guys saw my 200 million pound rebuild video. I was a little bit ruthless when it came to Licha and Delit, but I wouldn't be up there as my first choice to get rid of. But if an offer came in, I mean, he's going to be free, so I guess we can't really do anything about it at this point. So it's really up to him. But Danny says
Mhm.
probably move on, but we've got to move on so much shit. Probably need to keep him as fourth or fifth choice. Yeah, and like you said, I think having
How I
Dylan,
feel about
yeah, I think having the personality, the leadership that he has, just by an example,
it.
a little pragmatism, a little altruism in there, a little selflessness. I think that we need more of that as well. So thought I'd throw that one out there. This one's probably a bit obvious for everybody, but there is a bit of an interesting aspect to this because um, we sell Binder, we need another keeper, and I don't know what's going on with Tom Heaton now. Rumors are that Besiktas have had a bid accepted of about 4.5 million, but what does this mean for us? We've got VTech coming back. We've got Danny. Who's the other young keeper we sent on loan now? I can't remember now off the top of my head. But I don't know if VTech is going to be in the plans. So do we want to have to look for another backup keeper this summer if we sell Binder? I mean, what are your thoughts on Binder?
I think he's got to go just because it would help every. He'd get play time, and he's just not going to get the chance to learn, to grow, to try to be a better keeper. He's still young enough where he could do that, but it's just not going to be here at United. Um, I I don't know. I don't know why we wouldn't keep VTech in the picture based on everything we've seen this year about how well he's done in the championship.
Yeah,
Um, I would hope that he would just come in and be like the second choice keeper and play cups, but I don't know.
I mean
Who knows
that's
what the plan is? But I would let Bayern go. Yeah. So,
if it were me, yeah. If we had signed Emmy Martinez instead of Senna Lamans, this would be an entirely different conversation, right? Because then we'd be like, no, VTech's got to stay. VTech's ready. But now Senna Lamans, who's
mm,
23, VTech is going to be backup, and like Danny says, he probably want first team football. And so I
yeah.
see a compromise there. I see what you're saying. Maybe go Sergio Romero. Maybe play him in some cups. Have him as the backup for a year.
Mhm.
Because I think we did sign an extension for VTech not that long ago too, but I don't know if I want to have to worry about signing a backup goalkeeper this summer. So maybe if we want to avoid having to go spend, 5, 6, 7, whatever million, or getting someone else, just keep VTech here. And what this, because I don't think VTech is part of the plan for us moving forward, right? Which is what it is. But I think if we keep him and we play him in cups, we rotate him in maybe on dead rubbers in Europe or something. If we're like qualified for the next round of Europe, if we're in Europe and we've got like a match or two left, play him in there, get him some experience. What that's going to do, if he's not in the plan anyway, is going to drive up his price. And so maybe in a year when it comes
Yeah.
time to move him on, instead of getting 5, 6 million, we can get 10, 12 million for him or something,
Yeah.
which will help. So I
Mhm.
don't think that would be the worst idea. I think I see a happy meal. Like Danny's right. He probably wants to play first team. He's probably ready to play. I don't know if he's ready to play first team for United right now, but we could drive. He could probably get a dozen or so games next year, maybe 10 games,
Oh yeah.
easily, right? Just like Sergio Romero did, and that'll just double the price hopefully for us. So he
Mhm.
he he wouldn't be in my bomb squad, but I mean Binder, but
Yeah.
it just depends on what VTech wants to do personally.
Yeah.
Um, Danny, I like VTech a lot. We were talking about VTech last
Oh yeah.
season when he was out on loan at BW Linz as well. So it just depends on what VTech does. So I could go either way with Binder right now. Binder probably wants to play first team. He's probably going to go back to Turkey. He's probably, like Danny says, he's probably packed his bags already. He's probably out the door. So I'm going to add another player to the list for you guys. Toby Collier.
Hmm.
You say that like you were questioning my pick
No, I
there.
just didn't expect that.
I mean, he's always injured. He's he's got to go. Problem is, who's going to buy an injury prone player? I think he was very lucky to get loans, and he's been, you know, we recalled him, then we loaned him back out to Hull, and then he immediately picked up an injury again and got sent back. He's got to go. Um, Fredrickson, another one you could probably throw in there as well. We've not even heard anything about Fredrickson.
No.
Um, no, Collier's just he's injured way too much. Even under
Yeah,
when
that makes
Ten
sense.
Hag was still here, I think that, and it's a problem because when he played, I actually liked him. I thought he looked really good, but
Hmm.
he's been injured too much. I'm gonna look up at how much games he's missed from injury. The hamstrings, the calf injuries. Yeah, he's missed. He had two big injuries in 24-25, missed 14 matches and almost 70 days. He's already missed 60 days this season. He's missed 12 matches. Yeah, I'm done with Collier. It's not like he came through the academy. We've got him from, I think, Brighton when he was pretty old. He's already like 22, so he's got to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
I
can
have,
see that.
yeah. I mean, do you even remember watching him play? I don't remember a whole lot of him anymore.
No, I remember watching him a few times and he looked good, but
Yeah,
yeah, he just kept. You're right. He just keeps picking up injuries. It's kind of like what we were talking about with Shaw and Mount. So
yeah. I'm going to throw a controversial one out there now. Before I'm going to caveat this that I'm not saying that this guy is part of my bomb squad, but he was a late addition for consideration for you guys because I've seen a lot of talk on the back of a post from Chris Wheeler today. So I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let's talk about this young man,
mm,
um, Licha, calf injury, after ACL injury, after a another I went quad or something, I forget the year prior, and then a what was it, a meniscus or something the first of that
mhm.
first season. I don't you guys know I don't blame him for the contact injuries, right? And I don't necessarily blame him for the ACL. I do think that the likelihood of something like that happening after you've not played for like a year is pretty high, honestly. And again, like Shaw, like Mount, the only concern is moving forward, how many issues are we going to have? Because he was only supposed to be gone for like a game against Everton, and now he's been gone what, a month. Um,
Yep, he's out this weekend.
yeah, you can almost throw Delit in this conversation too while we're at it, because I have
Mhm.
no idea what's going on with Delit's back. This is why I maybe have snuck a center back in my 200 million pound rebuild video. You guys go back and watch that if you haven't yet. Danny says 50-50 on this one. Yeah, and so this is not a question of bomb squad. This is more of a question of how ruthless do you think we should be this summer? Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, part of me doesn't want to do it. I can see the logic in it because, like we talk about with Shaw, we talk about with Mount. He's injured all the time. We can't depend on him. Um, and but at the same time, he to me he looks better when he's out there than Shaw and Mount do.
Yeah,
Like
we missed him a lot,
there's a
right?
different level of yeah, there's a different level of confidence with that back line with Leach out there. So uh,
Well, we play
I
completely differently when he's not in the squad. No, we no longer have someone in that back line who can make these line breaking passes, who can pick people out. Now Bruno has to drop deep to do that, and it completely changes how we play on the pitch. It just does. We're worse without him, but at the same time, do we have enough of a sample size of him being fit to know that we're better with him? And it's like
yeah
Danny says, it's 50-50. Um, Danny says if he twerks one bit for Barcelona, sell him.
yeah
um, it's interesting, man. I don't know if he's in the bomb squad. If he gets another injury this season, then I might be putting him in that list.
yeah. If I would say we'd keep him for one more season just because if he can have a full preseason with no health concerns, maybe he can make it through the season. But like you're saying, if he picks up one more thing, then again, it's a consistently thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Can Yoro do that? Yoro can't do what he does. Heaven is probably the closest profile we have, but he's a kid. Um, he's
Yeah,
not gonna.
that well, that's the other reason. I'm like, do we can't really sell him or Delict
Yeah,
because we don't have the depth. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm like, we need to re-sign McGuire because at least we'd have three ones that we can generally depend on.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe instead we need to go get another maybe one or two center backs too.
Interestingly enough, yesterday I started a new career mode save in FC 26 under Julian Nagelsmann, and I got an offer that first summer for Licha from Al Nasser, and I accepted it. I took it, you guys. Licha went to the Saudi League in my career mode. What am I doing? I'm like in a whole ruthless place this year. I don't even know where that came from. Because normally I wouldn't do that in that game, but I was like, part of me when I play that game, I if there's like realistic stuff like that happens, like if Al Hilal make an offer for Casemiro or something, like I sometimes I give it some thought, or like if they make an offer for Bruno, like I try to be pretty realistic when I play that game. But yeah, if he gets another, if he's not back fit soon, and or he gets another little issue, it might be time to look at another center back, especially with Maguire being up in the air, and Shaw's
Mm-hmm.
and De Ligt back. Like suddenly we got a lot more priorities if all that goes wrong, right? We might need a center back, we might need fullbacks, we might need a left winger, we need two midfielders as well. We might need another striker. Like if Bruno leaves, we need someone who can do similar, or you move Cunha there and you prioritize a better left winger. Like what? This is where we're at right now, man. It's freaking nuts, dude. I can't believe this. Are there any? I mean, that's all I had on my list for consideration. Is there anybody else that you might want to add to the list at all?
I mean, obviously, I threw Onana on there just to
Yeah.
badmouth him and tell him to get out. But
I mean, he's got to be gone already. I mean, he's pretty much gone, right?
oh, yeah,
He's not coming back anytime. I mean, he'll be
yeah,
like
it's
Rashford, Hoyland. He's technically not sold yet, but I mean,
yeah. I mean, you feel bad for him a little bit that it didn't work out, but at the same time, like you had the audacity to go ask for a pay raise
yeah, I don't feel bad
after
for him.
the catastrophe of a season.
I don't feel
Oh,
bad for him. Some of the mistakes he was making, like I can't tell you how many times I've watched him palm a ball back to an opposition attacker and just concede a goal as a result. Like he's arguably one of the worst keepers I've ever seen in my life, and like that's saying
mhm.
something. That's saying something. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's any other players in the squad that probably need to be out the door. We've gone back and forth on guys like Zirkzee, Leach still kind of 50-50, Maguire 50-50 as well. Um, I can't think of anyone else that I for sure. I feel like we've got a good, healthy 4 or 5 players though that we need to get rid of. And like Danny says, we do need a
Oh
lot of players again. So what you're going to see sometimes, and what I anticipate seeing, is something like, again, never underestimate the pull and the attraction of like market value. If there are players, let's say like I don't know, like a Buwadi or something that, or maybe someone even in a position that we might already be pretty strong in, we might put off getting rid of some players now who probably should be sold because we don't want to have to pay for too many players, and we'll get someone when they like when we're signing Ronaldo, like that wasn't in the plan, but like when there's a
yeah.
player that's available and who's open to it, we might go get that player and just stick it out for another year with players who really should be gone, right? Clubs do that kind of shit all the time, and I wouldn't put it past Ineos to do that kind of stuff. But um, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But we'll
Yeah,
see how it goes.
I can't think of anybody else to include.
More Champions League tomorrow, Dylan. How you feeling about those matches? We got Arsenal, Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt, Sporting, kind of the Cinderella story. PSG, Chelsea, and then
So I was
obviously
going to say,
Madrid City, right? Go ahead.
so obviously the marquee matchup here is Bodo Glimt versus Sporting. That's the one everybody wants to watch. We want to see if Bodo can continue their run to the quarters. So,
Big up
um,
Jarvis too. I almost considered starting a career mode with Bodo and creating Jarvis as the manager just to have some bit of a fuck about.
hell yeah.
Caleb Urinky, see, you should have voted for my picks, man. He was in my list. None of this Danny Welbeck heartstrings nonsense that Dylan's out here trying to pull on everybody. Hayden Hackney. Don't think I don't see you with your Hayden Hackney pick. Although Hackney had a man of the match recently. Excellent, excellent match for him.
Oh, come on. Just agree terms now. Just start negotiating. Say, well, this goes through right at the beginning of the window.
Although a player on
We
my
need help,
list
man.
in my rebuild had a goal and an assist in that match too, though. So I'm just saying, big up, big up, Tommy Conway. So, Dylan, final thoughts on the bomb squad on Champions League. Any upsets? Predicting anything tomorrow? What do you who think you think Leverkusen can pull something off against Arsenal?
Oh, is it Leverkusen are playing? Oh, I thought PSG were playing them. Okay, Leverkusen, no.
No.
I don't see them. They're in a bit of a flux right now,
Yeah,
so we'll kind of see how it goes. Um, so it's going to be up to the mighty Bodo Glimt to beat Arsenal, and I really hope they do.
that would be
Um,
hilarious. I would laugh
but
my ass off.
right, yeah, I want Arsenal to lose really badly here. So
Yeah, don't we
I
all?
don't
They're
want that.
getting
Everybody's talking about the treble, get the treble.
no.
I'm like, come on, stop.
No, they're getting to that tail end of the season where they're going to have to start prioritizing a little bit of where they want to go. If it were me, if I'm Arsenal, I'm prioritizing the Premier League above all else right now because they need
Mhm.
to. I rate the league higher than I rate Champions League, so especially against if you again look at the draw. I mean, how many years have Madrid had to play Man City and Arsenal get no offense, but they get Leverkusen, not a great team right now. So
Well,
Chelsea,
and it's kind of the
PSG,
same
go ahead.
thing with Arsenal and sorry, it's kind of the same thing with Arsenal in the FA Cup. I mean, they're in the Champions League. They're trying to give Arsenal all the reasons to make it to the final.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Well, we shall be watching that one with interesting. I mean, it's funny because I always forget that daylight saving time is not the same over here as it is over there. So all these matches are an hour later.
Mhm.
That's funny. So, any final thoughts or bits of news you want to toss out there? And you guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Please, we're on the road to 4K as well. Any last minute thoughts for the people, Dill?
Just just hopefully we can see some upsets tomorrow. Maybe Bodo Glimt kind of put a pounding on Sporting. See what happens. Maybe Arsenal get a shock. That'd be nice. But we got a big game this Sunday. Let's hope our Aston Villa are going to be out to try to beat us. Maybe they'll play a little more open for us. Maybe we can get something from that. So hopefully we can get 3 points, put a little pressure on Villa, and put a little space between us and the top five.
I've got
So
thoughts on that. Obviously, I'll come back and preview that one probably Friday afternoon. They're struggling with injuries, and they've got to play Thursday as well in Europa League. So they're struggling. So it could be a good time to play them, but we'll see. It was supposedly a good time when we played them last time, and they freaking made us look like chumps. But
yeah,
most teams do that now these days. But you guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Again, go check out some of the exclusives. There are links in the description of this video. My interview with agent James Featherstone, our 200 million pound rebuild from last week is all in there as well. My left back replacement video that I just put out today as well. There's a Casemiro replacement out from last month too, and then I've got a right back replacement video coming out Thursday as well. So lots of fun stuff for you guys as well. Keep a lookout for some fun stuff during the international break as well. We might finally get around to our Mount Rushmore videos and whatnot. So we're talking about manager Mount Rushmore, football player Mount Rushmore, and United player Mount Rushmore. So we've got a couple of videos that you guys choosing four is hard, especially as United. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see the arguments. We might have a full house for the manager Mount Rushmore because I had some fun conversations recently about Pep
nice.
Guardiola that I am absolutely refusing to back down on, by the way. 'Cause- but guys, thank you for stopping by. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you guys probably Thursday. But until then, take it easy. Enjoy yourself, Dylan. Have a good night, my friend.
Have a good night, everybody.